Hi YouTube, it's Miss Black Pearls. I am back today and I am here to basically talk about a few things. I'm going to be talking today about things that we really just don't take the time to think about. We do these things and they actually can cause breakage to the hair. How do I know? Because I've done it. So if I'm doing it, I guarantee you there are a lot of people out here that's doing it as well. Number one, you have to keep the moisture in there. You have to handle your hair with care and love. The first thing that I do with my hair to prevent breakage, because if it's dry, number one, you don't want to be, I don't want to comb my hair while it's dry, because that's a disaster. That's a setup for breakage. So what I do is I spray my concoctions of conditioners and oils into my hair. That's what I do first. And then I top that off by, and I don't have my oils here, but I seal it. And then and only then do I take my fingers and perhaps separate a section, okay, with love and care, and detangle it from the bottom to the roots. I do that first. Let me say this. Our hair grows at the rate as anybody else. Look it up for yourself. Black people, your hair grows at the same rate as anyone else's hair grows. The only thing that we have to get in our mind is, hey, moisture. Our hair's drier. Whereas other races, they really produce a lot more oils in their hair. We really don't do as much. We don't have that much oil in our hair, and our hair actually stays drier. So with that in mind, moisture, you have to moisturize your hair, and you have to seal it in with the oil to keep that moisture in. My thing is, this did a lot better, but most people, this is a shower comb. People comb their hair in the shower. Something I don't do. That's just me. I do not comb my hair in the shower. I keep my hair going in one direction. When I get out, I twist it. I towel dry for 3 to 5 minutes. When I take that towel off, I put my leave-in conditioners and seal, and then and only then do I detangle. And I usually do it with a dead man brush or a wide teeth comb that has a protective coat. This is not the kind of comb you want to use if you're trying to retain length, okay? Let's get something straight. The comb is not going to be breaking your hair. It's usually you who's breaking your hair, if we can get that out there. So your hair is growing. Your hair is going to grow about 0.5 inches a month. The key is, are you going to retain length? And retaining length does not come from products. Products only help you with maintaining moisture and just the slip of the hair, the comb when you're combing through the hair. So products don't grow hair. Now the mecanozoyl nitrate, I'm testing that to see if it actually grows my hair. So that's different. But most products that you see us with, like when we're deep conditioning and we're putting things, if they're not a growth aid, then they're not going to be aiding in growth. Most products basically are there to help with the strands, to help keep your hair healthy enough to maintain. But the length part comes from you and how you handle your hair. Okay, deep conditioning twice. When you're using clips, even when you're pinning your hair up, be careful, because I've noticed that you can actually clip your hair, and then when you're trying to take it out, these little tooth, if you can see this, will grab or snag your hair. I like my banana clips because I can actually get away with a little bit more styles. But the things with the banana clips, when we are clipping our hair, sometimes we're doing it in the blind. Sometimes you're doing it like this and you're clipping your hair and you're snapping those hairs right in between here. You're just putting it in here and just breaking hairs. Same thing here. I know because it's happened to me. Your hair is going to get caught in this little, it's like a wheel, this part here at the end. You don't want that to happen. The best thing you can do is grab your hair tightly with your hand, place this in place, and make sure there is no hair sitting on this end here. There is no hair there. Make sure that hair is like from me. These are my favorite. I like to use these to utilize a lot of styles, but they can also be the enemy when it comes down to hair breakage. Check this out. You can roll your hair normally and then do your little clip, and you end up with like hair stuck in here and you're like, what happened? Yeah, if you got any kind of hairpins like this, please ensure that the bulb looks like that. A nice, clean bulb. You know, no breakage, no lift up in this area. With no lift up. Because if you got the parts that are lifted up, guess what, guys? It's going to break your hair. I love my satin rollers. I wish I can find the ones that's covered totally in satin and with the wire in it. But this is what I use right now. But to be honest with you, this slides a lot. Even when you put your hair in there, you can see there's hairs in there. So that's breakage. What you want to do is you want to make sure when you're rolling your hair that you're positioning that hair in the center and make sure this is not exposed, that your hair is not on here. Remember, our hair needs moisture. This will sap it up. That will take the moisture out and also cause your hair to break. It will stick to your hair. This part here will stick to your hair and actually pull your hair out. Straight up, just snag it out. So when you're putting this roller in, keep the hair in centered as much as possible and make sure when you clip it, it's still in the center. That's probably why I prefer rolling with braids. So my hair won't be all over here and then it's snagging. What else can I tell you guys? These are a pair of small flat irons. And this goes as well with the large flat irons. And I basically got this because I wanted to kind of, if I couldn't deal with the new growth, I would use this, but I haven't had to do it. I did it only once, and that was for this little piece here to show you guys the length of my hair with the McCollum's Oil Nitrate Challenge. But when you're using something like this, even the larger ones, you want to be careful, guys. If you can see right here, when you're using this, if your hair is getting in there, it's going to break. It's going to break. It's going to get in there and it's going to have the same issue with curlers, maybe curling irons, or a larger version of this. So when you're doing that, try to position your hair in your hand in such a way where you can keep your hair squeezed and away from that area that's going to actually trap the hair in there. And then this, usually when I'm trying to pin my hair or clip my hair up, my hair gets caught behind this for some reason. I don't know why, but it does. When you have that, when you're undoing the clips, any kind, just make sure your hair is free from that area, from this area. Important thing I can tell you guys in my journey so far, the reason I've seen growth and I know it's a change because the things I was doing once upon a time, I'm not doing it anymore. What was I doing? I was combing through my hair with no regards for breakage. I think a lot of our African American women are doing all this hair. We pull it out our combs by the handful. We're breaking our hair out. Our hair grows at the same rate as everybody else. The thing is retaining the length. And how do you retain the length? Treating your hair with love. You are responsible for that, not the products. The products can actually help with softening of the hair. It can actually make the hair stronger. But it's up to you if you're going to keep that length and maintain it by caring for your hair with love. Learn the proper way to comb your hair. I think a lot of us grew up saying, oh, if I wash my hair, you could come up with 1,000 myths that African American women grew up when I washed my hair with the sulfate shampoos. Now, it is said that anything that lathers has sulfate in it. So we have to look at the word sulfate and break it down and learn the other words for sulfate. Right now I'm using the Jason's Natural Lavender Shampoo, and that definitely has a lavender, so I'm quite sure there's, even though it stays in the front, no sulfate, I'm quite sure there is some form of sulfate in there, or I would not get the lather. But I noticed personally with the no sulfate, I do not get the dryness of the hair when I shampoo my hair. It does not dry my hair out. It doesn't feel like straw. Moisture, moisture, moisture. Your hair needs it. And a nice natural oil. I grew up in a household where there was grease. I'm going to say petroleum and mineral oil. Those are no-nos for me. Because it is said that it actually blocks the follicles. I don't need anything that's going to stop my follicles from receiving anything that it needs. Silicones or cementocones or whatever you want to call them, they're not, you can't avoid it. They're like in all kinds of products that a lot of people are using. I was using the coconut oil. It's in there. It's a lot. It was in a lot of products I was using. But I found out, I was wondering why my hair was feeling drier after I would seal with that. And I realized when I'm sealing my hair with that, because of the silicones, I may have locked that moisture in for the moment, but guess what? The silicones are still on the strands of the hair, and it's blocking my hair from getting any other moisture. A protective style is anything that is protecting your ends and keeping your hair protected from like the cotton pillowcases. Keep in mind that those things actually suck moisture out of your hair. So that's why it's important to put on a set bonnet before you go to bed. You want those things to, you want those nutrients and all those oils and moisture to stay locked in the hair. You don't want something just coming there, sucking it all out.